Don't blink, it is your boy Ink. Welcome to another video. Kids are doing well because they're having a fantastic day. As you read by the title, we're celebrating somebody in life and in death today, which is Morgan Spurlock. So who is Morgan Spurlock? He's the genius behind Super Size Me 1 and 2. Now, I'll be quite honest. Was I a fan of Morgan Spurlock? No. Was I a fan of his things? I only saw Super Size Me and Super Size Me 2. I don't know anything about the guy. But I know one thing. That's the impact that Super Size Me had. See, when you saw me, well, you can say, oh, it didn't have as much impact. You're fat. You like junk food. You didn't pay attention. But Morgan Spurlock was a lot of things. See, Super Size Me as a whole was something that really impacted me as a kid. Something that, creatively speaking, really impacted me. See, as a content creator, I can honestly say, without the shadow of a doubt, that Morgan Spurlock, in an indirect fashion, influenced my content creation. See, I grew up watching two shows, and if you know me, you know exactly the show I'm talking about. Kenny versus Penny and Trailer Park Boys. Now those two were shot on Showcase. Showcase had no budget. See, those two were filmed very poorly, but there was some charm to it. See, Morgan Spurlock created Super Size Me 2. Super Size Me 2 was great, but it felt like big budget. Super Size Me 1, however. Super Size Me 1. What was Super Size Me? It was a guy who went to McDonald's, and every single time they offered it, the tower, every single time they offered, hey, can we supersize your order? You would have to say yes. Now, why is that important to the story? Is because he gained some weight. He had some health-related issue. It was something aimed at McDonald's, but something that was more aimed at the fast food and at the poor health condition related to fast food or obesity. See, Morgan Spurlock wanted to showcase how bad food was in a period of 30 days. So for 30 days, he would eat every single meal at McDonald's. Now, I'm gonna be an asshole. I'm gonna be a complete asshole. I noticed a video at post-mortem videos. He died last night. I noticed at post-mortem videos, but there's a lot of things that, if you look at the documentary, made sense. Morgan Spurlock was a vegetarian before he did his McDonald's diet. So he went from not eating meat to eating meat. Of course, his system's gonna react. Morgan Spurlock, before the documentary, was in a kind of good health, very average. Then he changed to eating 3 meals a day, but there wasn't a saying, and oh, I used to eat this before. I used to eat 3 meals. Maybe you just ate 1 meals. There was not a lot of things that happened, right? But in the documentary, if you look at it, it was like, oh, there's a lot of sugar. I'm having a headache. I'm craving the food. I'm addicted to the fast food. I'm addicted to it. It was how he felt by eating, and at the beginning it was good, and at the end, there was some high and lows. See, the documentary wasn't aimed at McDonald's. It was aimed at fast food, and the beauty of the documentary was two things. It wasn't the fact. It's funny because, again, I'm going to repeat myself, and I'm sorry. It wasn't so much the guy eating fast food. It was his reaction. It was how he would feel good one day and feel like shit the next day. It's the constant high and lows. How his body adapted. How his body fought. How his mental was affected by the thing. It's funny, you know. If he wasn't vegetarian, would it be the same? If he wasn't who he is, would it be the same? Did he dramatize it for the camera? Did he make a scene? See, the problem is, a lot of this is talking about his mental health, the way he feels. You cannot understand how a person feels. You cannot understand what they're going through mentally unless they tell you. Even if they tell you, you might be lying. Am I saying Morgan Spurlock lied? No. I'm saying we'll never know. Now, again, it feels like I'm dissing the guy, even though we're doing a video on his death. But Super Size Me really impacted me for two reasons. First of all, it was a small guy going against a big company. Now, in this case, it was McDonald's, but you only want to see from the underdog. It was a low-budget documentary about great ideal. See, I can relate to that. But the best views was how cheap it was. It was his girlfriend filming him. It was interview. It was very, very cheap. It was. I want you guys to think about YouTube the way it was before. I want you guys to think about a YouTube, for example, what I do, with no big budget, with no expertise. And that was what it was. That was a documentary. There was a certain charm to it. There was a certain simplicity to it. It was at the core of creating content. It was at the core of recording. It was at the core of mockumentary. It was we're not the best. We're not the. It's funny because I keep on thinking about Batman, and I keep thinking about how you're not the hero the city wants to see. You're the hero the city needs. Am I calling Morgan Spurlock a hero? No. Am I saying that he felt self-righteous when he was doing? Yes. Am I saying that if you feel self-righteous and if you feel like what you're doing is righteous enough, does it make it righteous in your mind? In my mind, yes. If you're able to convince me that what you're doing is noble, I'll believe you. If you're able to convince me that what you're doing has served a greater purpose than just filming, I'll believe you. There was a certain charm to it. Super Size Me 2 was about the fast food and what it was like operating in fast food and how easy it was to lie to people about marketing, about what was the end and a free space. He kind of played with the laws of making something. So Super Size Me made a lot of tremor. It pushed his restaurant to be more healthy because it got kind of exposed. And in Super Size Me 2, like, yeah, but it's still the same. They're lying to you. They're embellishing it. They're saying it's better, but it's not. But in Super Size Me 2, it felt a lot more professional. It felt a lot more scripted. It felt a lot more like, okay, we're trying to do something here. What I like about Super Size Me 1 is how unpredictable it was. We're gonna go on a journey. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know how it's gonna end, but we're going on a journey. If there's a positive outcome, there's a positive outcome. If there's a negative outcome, negative outcome. We'll see. It was the let's fucking do it that I craved. It was the we don't have a big budget, but this feels like a need. It was let's risk it all. There was a charisma to it. See, Morgan Spurlock wasn't so much of an influence on me. But when I think about the charm of his first documentary, and I'm seeing the content I'm making, was there a time where I was influenced? See, the craziest thing is you don't necessarily know what influenced you. You don't necessarily know what makes you a better person. You don't necessarily know what impact the work you're doing. You say, my parents taught me the way that I'm working. Not necessarily. My parents taught me the way I'm acting. Not necessarily. Content creation is the same. I'll never be able to tell you what influenced me. I'll never be able to tell you who made me the way I am. When I'm seeing Super Size Me, I say, hey, this is amazing content. When I'm making the content I'm making, it's content that's maybe not amazing to you guys, but to me feel good. And at the end of the day, remember what I said? Doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. All that matters is if you believe that you're self-righteous. Believe hard enough in yourself, even the best lies will become truth. Love you guys. Rest in peace, Morgan. Peace.